What's up, guys? Welcome to 41 Fit Health and Fitness Coaching. This is your coach, Alex. Guys, this is the video that you guys were asking for, that you've been waiting for, MyFitnessPal video. This is basically a tutorial, step by step, how to use the app, how to maximize the usage of the app, and how it's going to help you as you progress through your program and even after your programming, okay? So this is very simple. We're just gonna dig in right into it. So when you download the app, which is available on Android and iOS, just go ahead and download it. It's gonna ask you as soon as you download it to sign up or log in. You can, if you already have a login and you remember it, go ahead and do so. Sign up. You can either sign up with your email or you can just continue with your Facebook, which that way you don't have to create another account. It's just much simpler. So it's up to you. But right now, just to kind of show you, we're gonna go ahead and do sign up with email. It's gonna ask you a bunch of questions, which is then is gonna determine the your goal, your weight, how many calories you're gonna be eating. And this is just the average the application gives you. So first off, what is your goal? We're gonna use myself as an example. My goal currently is just to continue to drop body fat. So it's gonna be lose weight. You can either maintain or bulk up if you want. Now, guys, remember in the last video, what is counting calories? I explained to you and give you a chart of how to figure out what your activity level is, and based on what your activity level, that's going to give you what your total calories are for the end of the day. So in my case, in our case, the chart had you 14, 15, 16, and 17. Same thing here. Not very active, 14, 15 lightly active, 16 active, and 17 very active. Now for myself, right now currently I'm lightly active. Then you go ahead and fill out the rest of your information. Are you male, female? You go ahead and your date of birth. Guys, you want to send me something, February 25th is my birthday. Just throwing that out there. Where do you live and your zip code and so forth, right? Then you're going to go ahead and put in your height. How tall are you? Now, for currently right now, I am weighing 138. That's my new low weigh-in. I don't want to get anything under 135, so that my goal would be just 135. If you're trying to, if you have your specific goal, which we've already set for you, go ahead and type in your goal. Just be as honest as possible. But I will be showing you guys how you can modify this and change it going forward when your goals change. So then the next, now the average, right, to lose a pound, the recommended average is about a pound per week. Now everybody's different. Some people will lose. Some of you guys have already lost more than 1 pound, even more than 5 pounds in 1 week. So it's just recommended, right? And it's just based on how aggressive and what your timeline is as far as your goal. Yeah, if you have a lot of time, if you have like 6 months to get to a specific goal, so you're getting ready for a vacation or you want to get ready for the summer, you have 6 months, you can go half a pound per week and really take your time, really enjoy eating more foods, not restricting as much, because you're going to be allowed way more calories because you're only losing about half a pound per week. Now if you're in a time crunch and you need to get this faster, you can move it up to about a pound and a half, 2 pounds. And like I said, depending how what your goal is and how fast you want to lose the weight, now, to an extent, your body will reach a point where it is unhealthy to lose more than 2 pounds per week. But if you just have a lot of body fat right now, then there's nothing wrong with losing 5, 6, even up to 8 pounds per week. That's just you're dropping a lot of excess fat. You're dropping a lot of water that you're holding on to, a lot of sodium. So all that's gonna just do a major drop for the weeks. Now, if you're already at a low body fat percentage and you're still trying to drop even more, then at that point I wouldn't recommend it pushing more than 2 pounds, just because it's unhealthy. You're going to be really putting your body under a lot of pressure, under a lot of stress as well. So for right now, just go ahead and put 1 pound per week recommended, and again, it just depends on your goal. Then obviously type in your email, your password, and whatever your username wants to be. All right, guys. So in this next section, once you have logged in, you're going to see that the app itself is going to generate a specific calorie intake for you. This is just the standard ratio that the app uses, and it's just based on how the app generates the average. Now, I will show you how you can go ahead and modify that, because if you're under my program, each week I will be sending you what your caloric intake is. So I want you guys to go in here and modify it. And once you finish the program and you move going forward, you can go ahead and change this yourself. All right. And like I said, it's just depending whenever you want to change the goal. If you want to just maintain, it is just a great way to kind of just always know what you're eating. So, all right. So the first step, as you can see on the screen here, you have calories remaining right up the top. On the top, really top, you have the date. You can select the date, tomorrow, today, or you can do a drop down and it will show you specific dates and so forth, right? So in case you ever want to go back to another meal and you remember something that you really enjoyed and can't, don't know what it is, you can go back on here and search it. So then you have your total goal, right? And mine says it's 1990. So I've already changed it. This is my personal MyFitnessPal app login. So you'll see this is what I am currently intaking. I'm taking 1,990 calories. It's gonna minus the food, so everything base that you track. You can also track exercise. Now, I don't recommend for you guys to do so, but if you want to go ahead and do it, by all means. I think it just kind of complicates things. You can track your cardio on here, but that's only if you're doing cardio, and then it tells you what your remaining calories are. Then if you drop down, you have sections where you can add breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, exercise. You can add your water intake, and right at the bottom you have two black tabs. One to the left, your nutrition, which when you select that, it's gonna literally give you a full breakdown of all your macronutrients for that day, right? So if you protein, as you can see, the first one you have 0 so far. Your goal is 189, and how much you have left? 189. So you'll be able to know what you're lacking in at the end of the day. So this is great. So in case you're eating food and you kind of just track as you go, and then towards the end of the day, you'll be able to see, okay, I went over protein, I didn't hit my carbs, I went over fat, maybe I should cut off this, and so forth. And that way it gives you an idea what you're going over and what you shouldn't be eating. Then it gives you other macronutrients like saturated fat, trans fat, sodium, potassium, vitamin A and C, calcium, iron. Now, all of these, you can modify them, and I'll show you guys where you can do so. But if you want to see track specific macronutrients, then by all means. Now, if you are deficient in some macronutrients, the best thing I recommend is going to the doctor, getting some blood work done, so that way you can see what you're actually deficient in. Right now, we're only going to be focusing on the 3 major macronutrients, which is your protein, your carbs, and your fats. This is specifically just for weight loss purposes, okay? So as you can see, again, you can change your macros, right? So here you'll have a pie chart that'll give you like the percentages of what you're eating. Calories, same thing. It'll give you like based on the breakdown between lunch, breakfast, and dinner, and what calorie amount you're doing per each. I don't like to track like that you're eating more calories during lunch or dinner. I don't like to do so. I just feel like it just complicates things even more. So I wouldn't worry about it. But if you feel like tracking it, if this makes you feel better, then by all means track it that way. Okay. So we're just gonna go ahead and exit here to the left. And then the next black tab at the bottom is notes. So if you ever want to add notes, you can add food notes or you can add exercise notes. If you feel like one day you were more sluggish because based on what you ate, you can put in some notes on there and just remind yourself, not to eat this because you felt sluggish. Or if you really enjoyed the recipe, then you take notes on there, and that way you can, remake it, or you can enjoy any foods that you particularly like from that day. So you can take notes again, it's up to you, but that's how you can track the food. Now at the bottom, you'll see another menu. You'll see home, which is what we're at now. You have your diary, which is where you'll be able to track your food. You have this plus sign in the middle. Once you select that, it gives you a couple different options, nice little colorful options: food, exercise, weight, water, and status. So here is just a quick way to kind of jump into one of these sections, a shortcut basically. So if you need to track your food, just select that. You want to track your water, you want to track your weight, and whether you hit a new low weigh-in, you can do so on here. Okay, now don't worry too much about tracking your weight. You're already using Trainerize app. That's going to track your weight, and the fun part is that is actually syncable with MyFitnessPal, so it will work hand in hand together. Then you have progress, and you have the 3 little dots at the bottom that says more. So we're going to go ahead and go with more. This is kind of like the menu bar. All right, the settings bar. So top you have your your shop for fitness gear. You have my profile. You can edit your profile, add your picture, just kind of edit at your own taste. Then you have goals, challenges, and nutritions. Now anything above that, you are more than welcome to explore on your own. These are just apps, devices. If you want to sync, if you have my like a Fitbit, if you have the Apple Watch, you can do kind of mess around with this. You can track your steps. You can blog with the community. You have friends on here who have these apps. Literally, you can start even chatting on here. But again, it's up to you if you have the time. My focus on this video is just to show you the basic usage of how to track your food. So we're gonna go ahead and go to goals. All right, and on goals, you'll see your starting weight, you'll see your current weight, you have the goal weight that we want to hit, and how many, obviously the average of how much weight you want to lose per week, and your activity level. Now at the bottom of that, you'll see nutrition goals, calories, carbs, proteins, and fat goals. That's where we're going to select. So select that. This is where you can modify. So when I send you your calories, if I send you it's 2,500, or if I send you it's 1,500 calories, or whatever that number is, you're going to go ahead and put it on here, calories, and modify it. So mine is already modified, but say if I needed to change it, I'm going to be intaking, say, 2,000 calories now, right? Or 2010, right? 2010 calories, that's my new intake. So the moment you change that, it's going to change, right? You select OK. It's going to change the amount of carbs, proteins, and fats based on grams that you're going to be intaking. Now the next step you're going to do, the average that it gives you on here, it's going to be remember I talked about in the last video as well, is the 50, 30, 20. So if you see, I'm going to change it right now. So this is what you're going to see as far as the average when you first log into the app, because this is what the app itself is going to give you. But you can go ahead and change it. Remember I talked about there's so many different ratios. Now one of my personal favorites is the 40, 40, 20, but the most basic and enjoyable and just flexible is the 50, 30, 20. Again, you can change it up if you like, but I would just suggest to not complicate things. Keep it with the 50, 30, 20, or really try the 40, 40, 20. That one's just a little bit more harsher on the body. I wouldn't do it for such a long time. It's more for like cutting or bulking in a very short period of time. So here you'll see 50% of that, your carbohydrates is 250 grams, 251 grams. You have protein 151, 45 grams of fat. So now we're going to go ahead and change it to what I am currently on, which is the 40, 40, 20. See, and then when you see at the bottom here, you have 100% highlighted in green. If you change that to 25%, say fats, now you have 105. So it will tell you if you're not at 100. So you can literally like mess around until but again, if you start messing around with these ratios, it will affect your body. So unless you know a ratio that you're following, or you have a specific ratio that you've been told to follow, just stick with the average. So we're going to go with the 40, 40, 20. As you can see, it levels at to 100, and then you select OK. And it's going to change, again, the amount of grams per macronutrient. So now I'm taking 201 grams of carbs, 201 grams of protein, and 45 grams of fat. So let me go ahead and just change that back to my original goal. So now that you know, right? And now what I am intaking now is 199 for protein and 44 grams of fat. So this is where you guys can go ahead and change it based on your particular goal. Okay? So then go back. Now, if you were to purchase the premium app, you can set up the calories by meal. You can show carbs, proteins by specific meal. I don't think it's necessary, but if you want and if it's gonna help you, then by all means purchase the premium. I've never purchased it. I've been using this app for more than 5 years now, so I don't recommend. I don't think it's necessary, but again, it's up to you. I just don't want this to complicate things. Right? If it's gonna make things complicated, it's gonna give you a headache. Don't do it. Okay? And that's it. Now, again, a lot of these other things are going to be for the premium, so just go ahead and go back. And we're going to go back to home. And
now we go ahead and start tracking food, right?
As you see, I've already began to track my food in the morning. So what I'm having for breakfast is, if you see the number up here, 420, that's 420 calories that I've had throughout the day. Um, in my first, right, my three large eggs. Now, the best way you can do this by how do you track food is just look at the food that you have at home, literally. And I'm gonna show you how if you have food at home, right, and you're buying, you have eggs, you have chicken, you have anything you bought from the grocery store, right? Most likely it has a barcode. So what you're gonna go ahead and do, you're gonna go to add food, and then as you can see, you have now a search bar. You have recent, frequent, my foods, meals, and recipes. You can either search on the bar and just search egg, right? If I'm having eggs, you can search eggs. Now you have it's going to give you a large amount of options of different options that people either have uploaded or the MyFitnessPal itself has uploaded. And as you can see, if it has a green check mark, it means it's an approved, that it is as accurate as it possibly can be, right? So you even have eggs from Walmart, from Sam's. You see at the bottom from Sprouts. So you can. It has a lot of different options on here. So if you are just say buying, you have food and you kind of don't know where you're where it's from, or if you're just say you're at a restaurant and you're just buying eggs and this restaurant does not show up on this app, which I will show you guys how restaurants actually show up on this app. But if it doesn't, then you want to just go generic, you can just go to the most basic one on top, which is egg. Egg one large, if it's a large egg, is about 72 calories, right? So it just depends on what what your situation is. But if you have eggs from the grocery store that you bought, let me go ahead and show you. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the eggs that we just bought at Ralph's. It's an 18 cage egg, right? So what do you go ahead and do is take that out, and then you're gonna go to the corner. So to that little to the right hand top corner, you can see a little barcode. I'm gonna click that now, and as you can see, right now, this is my kitchen. This is the large eggs that we bought. You can go ahead and see there's a barcode in the back. You're gonna just place that. Come on. There you go. Scans it, right? Now that it's scanned, you look, there you go. It says grade A, large egg, Kroger, that's the brand, right? Each egg is 50 grams, right? Each egg is 70 calories. As you can see to the left, to the right, it's going to give you a small breakdown of what carbs, fats, and proteins are, okay? Your carbs, eggs don't have no carbs. Fats, they have 5 grams of fat per egg. 6 grams of protein per egg, okay? And as you can see now to the bottom, there's serving size, 1 egg, 50 grams. Number of servings, 1. So how many eggs am I having today? If I tell you, hey, you're going to have 3 eggs, then I'm going to go ahead and select the number of servings. You're going to go ahead and put 3, right? Now, if you want to get to the exact point of 3 point something, then guess what? You can have the option of decimal or fraction. So 3.5, right? What if I had 3.5 eggs? Or maybe 3.25, right? So whatever if you want to get to that extreme, or if your serving size it gets to that extreme, then you have that option. But let's go with decimal. I just like to go with 3 eggs because I'm only cracking 3 eggs, right? So now that you have that, so now you can see it changes up here. Now I have 3 servings of that is 210 calories. It's 15 grams of fat and 18 grams of protein, right? And if you go down to the bottom, you have it tells you it takes so far it's 11% of my calories of my entire day, right? It even tells you, so as you can see, it has 15 grams for fat, saturated it has 4.5. Nothing for the rest, trans, cholesterol. So cholesterol, obviously, you guys know eggs does have cholesterol. If anybody ever tells you that they don't eat eggs because they don't want to get high cholesterol, that's the most retarded thing in the world. The reason that there is like that because they're just sitting in their couch, they're not doing anything, their body's just sitting around not processing. You guys are exercising, you guys are working out, are sweating, are putting your bodies to use. So there is nothing wrong with cholesterol, and coming from the egg, which has a lot of nutrients. No, there's nothing wrong with that. So they're fucking crazy. So it tells you sodium, potassium, again carbs. It has no fibers, no sugars. Protein A has some vitamin. A there, no calcium and iron, right? So it even tells you a lot of different macronutrients that it has. So then you're gonna go ahead and select the check plus up to the right, and now it's added to my breakfast, right? Obviously, I've already had those 3 eggs, but it's literally added on. And as you can see, I even have different brands. Look at the top first organic grade egg. Those are the ones I buy from Costco, right? Kirkland, that's the brand. Cage free. 210, that's 3 eggs. If you see the Kroger at the bottom, 210 calories, 3 eggs. Exactly same thing. So don't stress about always being so right on the brand. Just go with the most the most closest thing that it can get possible. Okay, so don't stress all that out. So as you can see, I've tracked my eggs. So say for example, so we're gonna go ahead and delete, and we're gonna go ahead and see, as now I have 1,360 calories still left to go ahead and hit. So let's go ahead and scan for a snack, right? We're gonna scan the snack. Now, say we wanted to look for something. So if I wanted to have, actually, let's continue, stay on with the scanning. So now we're gonna scan. We're gonna go ahead and scan this Chobani strawberry yogurt, right? As you can see at the bottom, serving size is 1 container. So let's scan it. Bam, 1 container, 18 grams, 12 grams of protein, right? It even tells you the remaining nutrients at the bottom. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and add that as well. Literally, you can scan everything. You want to go ahead and get to weigh how much ketchup you really need to be eating. Let's go look at ketchup. This is your basic Heinz organic ketchup, right? Now, guys, I'm not a big, on tracking your actual condiments, as long as you're not pouring, like drenching it in your food, but like, it already scanned it. As you can see, 1 tablespoon. Okay, 1 tablespoon is 17 grams. Okay, each tablespoon is 20 calories, 4 grams of carbs. So ketchup is mainly carbs, but tomatoes are fruit that is natural carbs. So that's why it's another great source of fiber when you're eating veggies. Tomatoes are really good, and it's just carbs. So yeah, as you can see, right? And you can add everything. You can literally scan anything, any food that you purchase anywhere and has a barcode. You can scan it. It literally will read it. As you can see, I'm gonna show you guys. This is another one. This is from, I bought this chicken at Costco, Foster Farms, right? Normally this one doesn't have a barcode, but even like Costco, you scan that and boom, Costco even comes up on this. Come on, guys, you literally can scan everything and anything, and it's just so much easier. It's so much easier to kind of track what you're eating and how much you're eating. So if you know that you can only, you can only intake so much, right, of fats. So let's go back. So we're gonna go ahead and cancel this. So, all right. So now the next thing I'm gonna go. So obviously, like I said, you can scan anything. Now let's go with. All right, guys. So on this next clip, we're gonna go ahead and show you how you can add everyday food, right? Now, so obviously you'll be able to scan almost anything that you purchase from the market, from the grocery store, wherever you guys shop at. Anything that you buy, scan it. Okay. So the next thing we're going to cover is going to be adding food from restaurants, fast food places, anywhere that you can think of. To be honest with you, this app is very updated. So if it's any restaurant, that's known, that's either a chain or even just even, I mean, I know fast food chains, but even restaurants, you Cheesecake Factory, you have Red Lobster, Chili's, Where else do you guys go? Outback. You have? There's so many restaurants. Honestly in there, and it just depends on where you live, what's accessible to you. But you can literally almost find any restaurant in here, and you're gonna be able to find its menu, not just its menu, but whatever you're ordering, right? Now there are some things that, if for example, Chipotle, right? You can order the basic, kind of go with an average, and then obviously there's the case where if you decide to, add certain things, whether it's adding double rice, double this, double, cheese, or putting everything on, then that's when you have to kind of be more specific. But nonetheless, it'll give you its most accurate. And your job is not to try to stress over it or try to complicate things. Just go with the most basic, the most average, and if you see there's multiple searches on there, just go with the one that has, obviously the most closest as far as calorie, and like I said, just go with the average. So we're just gonna go with lunch. We're gonna go ahead and type the most common one, which is Chipotle, right? So you're gonna search it. As you search it, you're gonna see even the top one. Chipotle is just very well known that it even has its menu on here, and there's 62 things on there that it's registered as its menu. So you can either go on there, or if you scroll down here, you can see like quesadilla, you have guacamole, sour cream, whatever burrito, whatever you end up ordering, it literally has almost everything. So let's just go with, say we choose the menu. See, you can see here the menu, and literally select everything that you add on your on your plate. Now, this is a great, let's go with an example. Let's go with, we're gonna go ahead and go with a burrito, right? So off the bat, a flour tortilla burrito, it's gonna run about 300 calories, 46 grams of carbs, 10 grams of fat, 7 grams of protein. That's just the pure tortilla, right? So right, select that, and then you can go ahead and add what you're gonna add. For example, cilantro. Now they average this about 4 ounces of brown rice or white rice. Obviously, just go with the average again. So let's go with white rice. See, they're basing it at 4 ounces at 34 grams of protein, carbs, 3.5 grams of protein, and 4 grams of fat. So this is pretty accurate to what rice is. Obviously here, just understand that they use different oils and different things to go ahead and cook it. So obviously, based on what you have at home or how you cook it at home, it might be a little bit different. But don't stress that, okay? Just again, we're sticking with the average. So you go ahead and put your rice. I'm gonna go with steak, but you know what? I'm gonna go with double steak. So they say it's 8 ounces of steak. You can add salsa on there. I wouldn't stress about counting the salsa unless you're doing like sour cream or cheese or corn. Then I wouldn't really stress it. But as you can see here, for example, if you go with sour cream is high in fat. It has almost no carbs, no protein, but it is all fat. Do you want to add it? Probably not. Okay, so, and then you can go down. Even for drinks, you have almost everything. Again, guys, this is very, very simple for you to be able to build, right? So then you go back. So now, as you can see, I had a burrito. Overall, this burrito was about 865 calories, right? And you got double steak, got the rice, and then just kind of went empty with that. I didn't want to add any beans. I didn't want to add any lettuce. Again, you can add based on how you prepare it, but right. And then we're gonna go with at the bottom. Go to nutrition. And as you can see, I'm already going. I've had a burrito. I've enjoyed myself. Right. I said, you know what? I want that burrito. But as you guys can see, this is what I mean by flexible eating. Is that, you know what? Yes, you can eat that. But if you do, just understand. As you can see, protein. I'm about 131 grams still left of protein. I only have 118 grams of carb left, and I only have only 18 grams of fat. So basically, the rest of my day has to be all protein and all carbs and real minimum of fats, because I only have 18 grams for the rest of my day. That's not much, right? So this is again this is so now I know that what my rest of my day as far as food is going to look like, and whatever those options are, I got to make sure that whatever it is low in fat, some protein, and just keep a moderate carbs, because 118 may seem like a lot, but a bowl of cereal is already almost 100 grams. So it just depends, right? So as like I said, you can literally add anything. You guys like Chick-fil-A, you can go with Chick-fil-A, right? You want to go with Starbucks, you guys buy things at Starbucks. Boom, you got Starbucks on here. Whatever you want to search, right? Cheesecake Factory, right? Boom, you have a menu for 642 items on there. Come on, guys. No excuse. What else? Subway, right? The most common one, Subway. You can go to McDonald's, right? McDonald's menu. Come on, guys. Everything's on here. But look, let's go with the McChicken. 360 grams. 360 calories. Come on, that's just no ridiculous. 40 grams of carbs, 16 grams of fat, 14 grams of protein. Like, it's all carbs, guys. All right. This is why people gain weight. People don't have just one McChicken. People can have two, three. I know I used to eat two or three. Okay, so this is a perfect way. And look, it tells you how much of fat, how much of cholesterol, how much sodium. Let's go with, right? What's a good fries? Let's go with medium fries. Fries, look at that, 48 grams of carbs, 19 grams of fat. Right? It would take up all my calories for the day. So this is why you have to eat smart, right? But if you want to enjoy yourself, you can. But I would definitely go with, say you choose McDonald's fries, and definitely go with a, for your cheat day or for your cheat meal. But never just go and because this is how you ruin your diet. Look, you guys can see, it's high. It's just high, very high in carbs. But yeah, anything that you guys want to find. There's any restaurant in here. You can search the bar, and then literally it tells you restaurants in the area that have the menu registered with the app. That's just crazy, guys. Come on, this shouldn't be hard. Wherever if people have time to be on their phones, to text, to be on Instagram, to be on Facebook, to be on Snapchat, then you have less than 2 minutes to go on here and count your food. Okay, no excuse, guys. This is very simple. Wherever you want to go, literally. There's restaurants here that are not well-known restaurants, and it has them on here. All these are like by where I live. Okay, I live by Venice Beach, so all of these are very, either vegan or whatever it might be. Vegetarian, plant-based, organic, whatever. All these restaurants, but they're not your typical, and they come up on here. Look at that. Look at that. You can even map it out wherever you're going to be at. So you know what? I'm going to be in Culver City later on, so I can search that area. Oh, wow. Look what I can eat around that area. Guys, if you're going somewhere, you can literally search and look, type Louisiana famous fried chicken, right? So if you're going somewhere, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna be going out. I'm gonna be going out with friends. I'm gonna be going with family, but we don't know where we're gonna go eat. Or I might be going to my aunt's house, and I don't want to be carrying my meals. Of course, right? Things like that happen, guys. Remember, this is why, your life doesn't stop because you're trying to, get in shape. Things happen, so you have to go places. Look at this. You can literally search where you're going, because I'm pretty sure you know where you're gonna be going, and if you don't, you can ask. And then when you find out where you're going, search the place, and that's it. That is it, guys. It's so simple. But that's it. Guys, this is a great way to add. You can add anything, and then the cool thing is that in your recent, you'll say we go with. Go back. So say, as you can see, it's recorded my recent one. So whatever you eat most common, it's going to record on here. You just have to go ahead and click, boom. right? It's done. And that's it. It's very simple. I mean, you literally add everything on here. You can track it by literally by breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You can just input it on there. There is no. It doesn't really matter if you put, say, all your proteins and your snacks under snacks. That's what I typically do. Anything that I snack on, or if it's a protein shake, if it's a treat, anything I just put under snacks, it's gonna come up with like a ton of calories. Don't worry about the amount that it shows up per what section that you eat. So for example, lunch compared to dinner, if one is higher than the other, don't worry about that. It's not something you should be focused on. Just worry about, at the end of the day, is this. Look, you go all the way to the bottom, you go to nutrition, and at the end of the day is, did you meet your total goal for the day? And if you didn't, what are you lacking, and what did you go over in? And if you're going over, and this is just a tip, guys, if you, right, you can go over protein. There is such thing as too much protein, but you would have to have it consistently every day and in very large amounts. But there's not bad if you go over 10, 15, even 20 grams of protein, right? There's nothing wrong with that. What I would be concerned is if you're going over your carbohydrates by more than 10 grams, if you're going over your fats by more than 5 grams. Even 10 grams is still kind of pretty high, but you never want to go over any of carbs or over fats. Sugars too. It's a good way to keep your sugar intake. See how much sugar you're eating. Just literally scan the foods that you eat now and see how much sugar that has. You're gonna be shocked. You're gonna be, and then literally add them. Just add all the junk that you would eat, and then see how much sugars you end up at the end of the day, and wonder why you couldn't lose weight, or wonder why you put on so much weight, right? So, guys, it's very simple. I hope this tutorial has helped, and that's it. I mean, as far as using the app, you just log in the food, and that's it. You change your goals based on whatever your goals are, or if they change down the line. But other than that, you just track. Now you can track your water. It won't really do anything towards the calories. Water, you should be you should be drinking a gallon a day, no matter what. So, other than that, guys, it's very simple. I hope that you've understood everything. If you want to continue to play with the app or get the premium, that is optional. But it's straightforward. Adding food, knowing how to track your calories, how to see where you can track, how to change your goals, and that's it. That's it. The app is magic, guys. Magic. So I hope you enjoyed this, and take care.